Good evening, everybody. It's Monday night and it's time for another nervous chat. This week's guests, I feel like I'm talking very quietly, sorry. So tonight's guests are an up-and-coming YouTube channel and Instagram account from my home country of Wales, which instantly makes them very popular with myself. One of the great things about Instagram is that there's always new accounts to be found, and these guys were suggested to me, I think because of my friendship on Instagram with Theme Park Kate, possibly because of Parks and Pints. Either way, they were recommended as an account to follow. So I had a look and really liked their fresh and fun yet informative vlogs that they've been doing. They are very new to the scene, only been vlogging for a very short time. But it does seem to come very naturally. And as I say, their vlogs are very fun, as well as being, honest and informative. So without further ado, let me introduce Abi and Lauren from All About the Lift Hills. Good evening.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Fantastic. Just going to greet people in the live chat. Good evening, Theme Park Fanatic. Good evening, Parks and Sharks. Oliver from Oliver Shorts and More. Lily, Airtime Madness. Good evening. Let's see, where else have we got? Good evening, Theme Park Kate. Lovely to see you, Kate. Thanks for joining. And good evening, M from Disney M UK. I think that's everybody in the live chat for now. So, how are you tonight anyway? Are you good?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Ah, Parks and Pints are in as well. Good evening, the other Abby and Nicole. Busy weekend?
No, we had a quiet one.
Yeah, for once we were actually home all weekend.
Yeah.
Wow.
We needed it.
Yeah.
There can't be many weekends that you guys have spent at home
No.
since season started.
No, I think maybe 3. There's
Wow.
not been many where we've sat at home and done nothing.
Wow, that's quite phenomenal. Oh, good evening, Dave. Thanks for joining. That's quite an achievement, isn't it? Considering you're not exactly centrally located for most of the theme parks in the UK, but you've certainly been doing the rounds, as it were, of the theme parks. So I thought, first of all, we'll kick off with a couple of icebreaker sort of questions, if you like, general questions. Nothing to worry about. Don't worry. Not going to be embarrassed or anything like that. Well, at least I hope not. Oh, good evening, Mike from Join to the Attractions as well. Lovely to see you, Mike. Thanks for joining. So let's start off. The question I've been asking all the guests recently. The choice is pizza, pasta, or a rice dish. Which would you choose?
Pizza. Yeah, pizza.
Fantastic. Love it. Any particular pizza?
I quite like mine plain, but I'm just boring, so maybe that's why.
I quite like pepperoni, quite basic, but I do quite like a Hawaiian with pineapple. I don't like pineapple, but I like it on pizza.
But it's a fruit. It shouldn't be on a main course. We won't start that debate because that could go on all night. Next question I've got for you. What is your dream job, or what was your dream job when you were much younger? And what do you do now?
You can go first, Abby.
Well, when I was younger, I used to want to be a teacher. But now, I've just come into the end of my postgraduate study doing law. So hopefully one day I'll be a solicitor. Yeah.
I think I've always wanted to work like police and forensic wise, and I'm quite lucky that I'm actually doing that now. So got the dream, I guess.
Fantastic. And nothing theme park related, I see.
No, but we've said multiple times in our vlogs lately, we have been thinking a bit of a career change.
If like the opportunity arose, maybe. Wouldn't say no.
No.
And the pay scale was substantially increased, I think, is a big block for a lot of people, isn't it? I think with in recent times, I really liked the idea of possibly going and working as a scare actor in Fright Nights or something. But I've seen the pay scales, and maybe not.
Maybe not.
It's not the greatest pay from what I can see. You know, I'm not going to be giving up my my day job anytime soon or in scare acting, but it's not something I'm completely dismissing as just for the experience. I think
Yeah, I can't remember what we said. I think it was like when we did the tour with the Manual Mayhem behind the scenes, it was just so interesting with the engineering and stuff, and we were just like, oh, career change maybe.
Yeah. The oldest of my two younger children really fancies himself as being a roller coaster designer and engineer. So you know, I'd love it if he was. We'll see.
Yeah.
But you know, he's only 7. He's a bit young to be making career choices just yet. But that's his obsession. So we will see. If you could be an animal, what animal would you be and why?
Oh no.
Sorry to put you on the spot like this.
No, I think I'd probably be a dog, and specifically a dash hound.
Shout out to Alice.
Yeah, sausage dog, like my dog Alice. I don't know. Well, being like a dog seems really fun. To be fair, you know, she sleeps most of the day, goes on her daily walk, eats food.
I was going to say, I can
you don't want to be a bird.
Birds have been a very popular choice of late. Everyone seems to want to be a bird. But I quite like the dog idea. They do seem to have a very easy life, don't they? As you say, sleep all day.
Family, yeah.
So and most dogs in most families, let's face it, are quite pampered, aren't they? So I can see why you might want to be a dog. Yeah, that sounds like a good life.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I can't think of anything.
That's all right. If you think of anything, we can always come back to it. Feel free to stop me at any point. You know, if you were Prime Minister for the day, here we go. What would you change? It's not a political question. Something fun is what is. What would you do in your first day as Prime Minister?
Make Oakwood better.
I like it.
I was going to say, you know, well, give everyone the day off and let them go to a theme park.
See, I like that. Yeah, I like that one. Last week, I think it was Chris from Airtime Thrills said about free entry to theme parks for the day, which I thought was also a very good idea. Obviously, I messaged you beforehand about tonight, and I asked you to think of what have been your worst 5 rides. So if we were going to build the nightmare park for All About the Lift Hills, what 5 rides would you each put into it?
I think we've got very similar ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think maybe there's 1 or 2 that are different. I think.
Yeah.
I reckon my top worst coaster I've ever done has to be Dragon Con.
Yeah, that's in my list as well.
That was horrific. We done it the first time and it was alright. Second time I had to shut my eyes because it was making me feel violently sick. I couldn't stand it. It was horrific. Like just holding my head during the inversions because I was like, nah.
Yeah, I would miss that one. Won't do it again.
Fair enough.
I was going to say Saw the Ride because it used to be my number 1 coaster, but as of recently it's become really rough and not enjoyable at all. Like we went to Oakwood, speed was running a lot better than Saw.
I agree. I did Saw Thursday and it was horrific. Absolutely horrific. I came off, I was holding my head. There was just I had a better ride on Colossus and have done repeatedly this season than Saw. So I definitely think Saw deserves to be in there at the moment until they can sort that tracking out and get that smoothness back.
I don't even know what it is. It's just rough. It's just something about it that's just not.
Yeah, I mean, Mike from Journey to the Attractions, he did a behind the scenes tour on Wednesday night with the Merlin crew, and he's saying it rode amazing. I wonder whether there's one car that they hold back just for special events like that, and that's why it rode so smoothly. It's got a better suspension or something, I don't know, but yeah. And see, Theme Park Fanatics saying as well, you just need a good car on Soar.
Yeah, last season we found it was the same. It was like one or two cars that just did ride amazing. Then you had that one off one. But then this season I haven't had a good ride on it.
Yeah, I see. I must just keep getting the bad car, because 7 rides in this season. You know why I keep going back to it, hoping it's going to get better. I don't know, but I should learn. But I do still keep going back to it, hoping that it's got better. And 7 rides in, and it's not getting any better. So I obviously just choosing the wrong cars each time. Or I've had people tell me that, like, obviously Chris is saying the middle seats are better. Some people saying that the back seat, the second row, is better. I just I don't know. I just seem to be getting the bad ones all the time. So so I'm definitely with you on Soar on that one. What else have you got in your in your never again?
That ride. That's another one I just can't stand.
It's Infusion is legendary for the wrong reasons, isn't it? It very much is a one and done ride. I don't know many people who have openly admitted to enjoying Infusion. So many people just, you know, and it's been a recurring theme on the show that Infusion has been in that top worst 5 rides. I really hope that maybe Blackpool Pleasure Beach are listening and might actually take action to do something. I doubt they are, and I doubt they will. But we can always hope, can't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I would say at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, Revolution is a lot worse than Infusion.
Okay.
Because, well, when we last went this season to Blackpool, we actually rode Infusion and we skipped Revolution.
Yeah, we did, to be fair.
Yeah, no thanks.
I've not done Revolution yet, so I can't comment on that one. But when I went, the only time I've been to Blackpool, which was October last year, unfortunately Revolution was down for the day, so I didn't get to do it. So I'm hoping to get back this year to do that. And then be able to have obviously a better opinion. But for me, certainly Infusion, I have done, and I won't be rushing back to do if I do go back to Blackpool. But there's a few people in the chat actually agreeing with you that Revolution is worse. So
I'd rather go in Infusion.
We've got a picture on Revolution, and our faces saying, "Oh, we look absolutely mortified."
Traumatic.
Oh dear. That's not good. That's not good. I will have to do it because I want to do everything, every coaster. But and yes, and I do need to do Big One as well, which Dave's saying, because I haven't done Big One because that was also closed on the day that I went last year. So unfortunately, with because it was October, there was it was quite windy, and I totally appreciate that. In those high wind conditions, you don't want to be running a ride like the Big One. So
we had a bad ride on the Big One last time we went as well. I was quite disappointed with it.
Yeah, that was running rough as well.
But yeah, I think somebody else mentioned that to me as well not long ago about the Big One being a bit rough. But I suppose a lot of these things are purely down to personal preference, aren't they, as well? We can agree that certain aspects are rough, and then sometimes it's just, I think height obviously plays a part, size, everything, broadness of shoulders, etc., can all play a big part. So I think it is very much a personal taste. So Mike from Journey to the Attractions wants to know who Chris is on your t-shirt.
Chris Brown.
Oh, Chris Brown. Right.
Yeah.
Let's see. There you go, Mike. It's Chris Brown. Okay, so let's talk about all about the lift hills, which is obviously the main reason for being here. What made you start vlogging?
Don't even know really.
It was like, so I'd say last year we really got into like, you know, the coaster scene and stuff. And we just felt like we didn't, like we'd go to parks and we'd see people we knew and stuff. And we just like, we were like, do you know what? We kind of want to get in with the scene. So then we were like talking about it end of last year, and it wasn't something we actually thought we'd end up doing. And then I think we sat in Starbucks February time, and we were like, oh, let's just do it. And to be honest, it's the best decision for me that we've done. Because like we like feel like actually part of the community now.
Yeah.
Like it's not even for the vlogging, it is getting to know people, and like everyone's so lovely as well.
And also when we like obviously vlog every park we go to, it's nice to like watch back as memories. Like we always have that day like on film, and we can always watch it back in the future and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fairly common theme, really, is that, you know, it's, as you say, it's especially the creating memories. You know, it is a great way of capturing and keeping those memories. And did you find at all that you, I mean, because I've watched the first vlog, and you didn't seem at all nervous, unless the nerves were hidden behind the laughter and the fun. Because you know, it didn't seem particularly nervous. It just seemed very flowy, natural, fun. You know, let's have a bit of a laugh, which and it was, to be fair. I've really enjoyed your vlogs, because they are very fun.
Thank you.
You know, I think it's always nice to have that sort of difference, isn't it, in vlogging? Because, you know, there are vloggers who like to be very informative and very, you know, and they're quite not serious, but you know what I mean, more serious. And then you've got the fun vlogs where, you know, like yourselves, and, you know, and Parks and Pints, and so many other people who, you know, who are just recording about having a laugh, really. You know, so it is nice, and the fitting in, absolutely. Obviously, Parks and Pints there are saying that you fit in really well, which I wouldn't disagree with that at all. But I think the great thing about this community is that just about everybody does fit in. There is no stereotype of what a coaster enthusiast looks like. You know, we're all so different, yet we all have this shared interest, which you know, is amazing, really, that we've all got that connecting thing that means that we could all talk to each other for hours and hours, you know, regardless of, you know, any of our backgrounds. And I think that's an amazing thing, and it's you know, it's an enjoyable thing as well. So I think that's great. Who are your inspirations? I'm assuming Parks and Pints are going to be included in that, definitely. Was there anybody else particularly that inspired you to start?
I'd say like we both started watching probably Theme Park Worldwide around the same time. I'd say that's where, like, you know, the coasters started from. Like we watched his vlogs before going to Alton Towers or wherever we were going. Anyone else?
I don't know, I feel like I watched quite a few vloggers, like starting 2021. Yeah, I don't know, really.
I feel like we watch so many different people, and like, you know, everyone's vlogs are so different as well. And
I mean, and I think Theme Park Worldwide is one that we all sort of started with, because they're so massive, aren't they? So you know, it's, if you type roller coaster into YouTube, the chances are that one of the first videos that it will suggest to you is probably something from Theme Park Worldwide. You know, there's so I think we've all started from that point. And as you say, there is so much variety out there. You know, that we're no two people are exactly the same, which is great for for the content, certainly. What made you think? What was it about Alton Towers, though, that made you want to vlog Alton Towers first? Because obviously, you know, that's
well, we went to Thor Park annual Merlin Pass holiday, And
Yes.
we were gonna vlog then, but we were just like, didn't have the courage to do it. Just couldn't talk to the camera. And then we'd planned Alton Towers for the following week, because we'd kind of like done it the opposite way to everyone else this year for some reason. Like everyone was in Blackpool or Alton Towers the weekend we were in Thorpe, and then vice versa. And then we were like, we've just got to do it. And I felt so cringe the first time we were doing it. I think that's why that vlog is just iconic for us, is because we were there. And it's just
laughing.
Yeah, just laughing.
It took us so long to like actually say hello. Well, here. But yeah.
It's yeah, I mean, and of course, Thorpe Park's annual pass holder day this year wasn't exactly a raving success, was it? I know Mike from Journey to the Attractions vlogged it, and it was less than complimentary, shall we say, about operations and things, which you know, which is sad, really. I, like most people, went to Alton Towers, and I wouldn't normally do that. Normally, I would do either pass holder day, either Chessington or at Thorpe Park. And because of Curse at Alton Manor, which is obviously what everybody was dashing to Alton Towers for, I went there instead. And despite the queues and things, I didn't regret that decision, having seen just how bad things at Thorpe Park were on that day. I think I probably made a wise choice for that one. But it's a shame, because normally pass holder days are a great experience. Certainly my Chessington ones have been generally pretty good. But yeah, so it was disappointing, wasn't it? I think.
Highlight of the day, seeing Stealth roll back. That was the highlight.
We were like one train away. Like we were about to get on the next train, and then it rolled back.
No way.
That did.
Do you know what? Stealth doing that, repeated, because it did it a few times, didn't it? Actually stopped me riding Stealth for a long time this year, because one of my biggest fears is rolling back on Stealth. So I was like, right, in the past it's happened. I know it's happened, but it's happened so infrequently. The chances of it happening are so minute. You know, I'd have to be terribly unlucky to be on a train that got a roll back, and then all of a sudden it was rolling back quite a bit. So I was just like, I'm not getting on this. You know, no way am I getting on this. And it took me quite a while to get back on it. And in the end, it was doing the Thorpe Park Challenge video that I did with Mike from Journey to the Attractions, actually. And he finally got me back on Stealth by appealing to my competitive nature, shall we say. Yeah, it was since then it's been fine, but yeah, that really didn't do any favors for my anxiety whatsoever. Is there a ride that's that you girls have been particularly terrified of?
Red Force.
Yeah, well, I would say Stealth was one that when I first went to Thorpe Park and I saw the size of Stealth, that did, you know, make me really anxious to go on. But yeah, Red Force, definitely. That was,
didn't want to ride it. I'm surprised we did, but once we done it, we loved it. But that initial looking at it, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, and also we rode Red Force first this season, and we did Stealth.
Right.
So we wanted to go to Thorpe Park before Portaventura just to, you know, get back on Stealth and get used to it. But then because of the rollbacks, we couldn't go on it, and then so we went on Red Force first.
Oh no, that's that. Yeah, I think I can see why you'd want to go to Stealth first, and then build back up, because obviously Red Force is that much higher and that much faster, isn't it? I'm hoping to go to Portaventura next year, and whereas up until probably a couple of weeks ago, I think I pretty much said Red Force is a no. You know, I was still struggling a bit with Stealth. Now I'm kind of like, right, I'm really comfortable with Stealth actually now. I lapped it 16 times on Thursday because it was just so quiet. So I think I'm okay with Stealth now. So I'm sort of thinking, right, Red Force is the next big challenge. I'm hoping to give it a go. I'm not going to say yes, I'm going to do it, because I know it's a lap bar only, isn't it, as well? Which
Yeah.
Doesn't exactly go well with my my anxieties. I like to be, you know, secure, shall we say, with a vest restraint, but you know, but I would really love to do it. It would be, for me, it would feel like such a great achievement to
Definitely.
to be doing something like that. So yeah, we'll see. We will see what happens with that one. Obviously, with most teams on YouTube, there's one that films and one that edits, generally speaking. So which one is which, generally?
Abi does it all.
Yeah.
Gotta give the credit to her. She does it all.
Yeah, so I film on my phone and then I edit on my laptop, just because it's just more convenient. My phone and my laptop sync up together. So,
yeah, we started it just on Abi's phone, and what was it, editing on your phone, and it just wasn't working. Like the first vlog, it just wasn't the quality we wanted, and then we were like, yeah, let's just stick with it. So I tend to try and do the social media side,
like more of the admin.
Yeah.
The admin. Love it. I love it. It's yeah, I mean, I started off filming on my phone and editing on my phone, and now when I look back at those vlogs, because I think they were pretty much all my vlogs all my vlogs last year, in fact, were all done, filmed and edited on my phone, because it was just easy to do. It just meant you know, I didn't have to faff about with a computer. I don't think I had a computer at the time, and then I got a laptop, and then started using the laptop. So I was filming on the phone, uploading it to the laptop, and actually the quality is just so different because the timings are so much different. But obviously I was quite intrigued to find out that Abi and Nicole still edit on their phone, and you would never know. So
no,
that
you wouldn't know.
they must have come across some secret app that that I've never come across, and that just,
you'll have to let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because I'd rather do it on my phone, because it means I can do it while I'm out and about, rather than having to be sat at the laptop at 5 o'clock in the morning trying to edit vlogs together, as is my norm. But yeah, I think, yeah, for me certainly, and I agree with you that it does make a difference. And CapCut is yeah, that's what I use on the laptop. It's definitely easier and better on the laptop. CapCut on my phone was rubbish. I didn't like that at all. But CapCut on the laptop is a completely different software, I think. Thanks for joining, Mike. Lovely to see you again. Hopefully speak soon. And I'm looking forward to seeing the Thorpe Park hide and seek vlog that we sort of all filmed. That was a very fun day. So yeah, looking forward to seeing that, mate. Hope that comes out soon. But certainly filming on a phone is, I think, you know, it's why not? Phones, cameras these days are so good that you know, unless you want to go out and buy a specific, you know, relatively expensive vlogging camera, then why not use your phone? I think you know, there's a lot to be said for phones these days, and what they can do, and the quality of camera. So I think you know, there's nothing wrong with filming on phones. I still film on my phone, and I think I will always film on my phone. You know, I don't have to have a memory card for it, and all those kind of things. So I think, yeah, I think that if it works for you, it works for you. So looking at the list, the extensive list that you've compiled in such a short space of time, obviously you've been to pretty much all the new openings, haven't you, this year? So obviously Curse at Alton Manor, Subterra, World of Jumanji, Ghost Train, Valhalla. Which one has been your favorite new or rethemed ride?
I've really enjoyed Curse, and I've enjoyed Valhalla. Valhalla was amazing. It was so good. And same with Curse, like the amount they did in such a short time, to me it was mind blowing.
Yeah, I'd agree with the Curse. Definitely one of my favourite rides. But I would also say the World of Jumanji.
Yeah,
I was really surprised at how well the area is themed. Mantle Mayhem's really good. Yeah, I really enjoyed that opening.
Yeah, I think I am torn like you guys, because Curse, as you say, for the turnaround that they had,
Yeah.
and the budget that they had, you know, what they did there was quite something quite spectacular. You know, I think it was unexpected. I think we all thought it was going to be a bit of a cheap and cheerful retheme, and actually what we got was a substantially better dark ride that lots of people have been pleasantly surprised about, and have enjoyed.
Yeah.
World of Jumanji, obviously, you know, is at the other end of the scale with that time and budget, but you can't, you know, take away from the fact that that area is just next level theming for a Merlin park, especially, for a UK park generally. You know, I think they've really gone to town on that, and Mandrill Mayhem was such a lovely surprise. I think
So
everyone
much better than we expected.
yeah, everyone thought, oh, family coaster, it's going to be a bit disappointing, it'll be a bit boring. Actually, it packs a bit of a punch. It's a very enjoyable ride, and I think it's surprised quite a few people, hasn't it? Obviously, we've got to talk about Ghost Train, because I did see your vlog on Ghost Train, and actually, I respected the way you tackled Ghost Train, from the perspective of, you know, you didn't want to give a full and final review of it because a lot went wrong before you got on it, and then, you know, I don't know whether it wasn't ready to open when it opened, because I went there on its second day of opening, and I came away thinking, like you guys, this isn't great. This, you know, this I'm not sure this is even better than Darren Brown. You know, and that was poor. I've since done it twice more, and certainly on Thursday when I did it, I had the best run through I've had, and actually I have to say it changed my opinion. That one run through changed my opinion of that attraction. Do you think that there's that is a danger with actor-led experiences like that it can be so variable?
Yeah, I think so, because I don't think we've had one good run through yet, and we redid it last week, and I think that was worse than the first time we'd done it.
But it's not something I want to be like, I don't like this ride. Like, it's something I feel like I want to give more chances to. But yeah, we haven't had a good run through yet.
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, there's only so many chances you can give it, probably.
Yeah.
You know, I would say, because of what I experienced on Thursday, I would say give it another chance, because, as I said, for me, it was a different attraction. It was a completely different attraction. The acting was better. It was, and we were actually on the train longer. I would say that the entire attraction took twice as long as normal, but actually it worked because the actors weren't rushing to build an atmosphere. They were slowly building an anticipation and an atmosphere, and they were very good at doing it. Whoever the actors were on Thursday were excellent as well at building that anticipation and just creating the fear. You know, so I think it is very much dependent on actors in there, and I mean, it's a bit of potluck, I think, but it is a real shame, because I think it has a lot of potential to be a great attraction. But as I said, I really respected the way you tackled that with the, you know, we want to give it another chance. We don't want to write it off just yet. And I thought that was really fair to say that, because a lot of people did write it off very quickly. And I was one of the ones that was very early to criticize. And I've had to retract that. And in my vlog that's coming out soon from Thorpe Park on Thursday, I've had to retract it further, and actually admit that it is actually a good attraction, you know, but I do explain why that opinion changed. So, but I think that's unfortunately with a live acting experience like that. How about Subterra? Because I've heard some very mixed opinions about Subterra as well.
We've done it twice,
Yeah.
and that was that just after it opened?
Yeah, it was the day after it opened, and we enjoyed.
We've not done it since, but I really liked it. But I didn't know what to expect going in there.
Yeah, we hadn't experienced it before, so we didn't really know what was going to happen. So I think maybe that was the reason why we enjoyed it.
But I'm excited to do it again when we head to Towers next, because I think it's something that, we've only done twice, and it was like opening weekend. So I'm quite intrigued to see what we think next time. But I think it's good that they've added that, especially with Nemesis, being re-tracked. I think Alton Towers needed that extra ride, really, to bring the queues down as well.
Yes, of course, with Nemesis closed and Enterprise being got rid of, I think they desperately needed something to try and help with the queue build issue.
As well. Like, I like how they're putting it with Nemesis. If it wasn't linked, maybe I'd be like, oh, I'm not sure. But I think like it could develop quite a bit with obviously the re-track developing as well. I like how they've linked them together, and I'm intrigued to see how it goes next year when Nemesis reopens as well, whether they'll keep that going as well.
Yeah, you'd like to think that they would, wouldn't you? Because as you say, I think it will complement the new Nemesis track and sort of theme. From what I can gather, from talking to people who've done it, it definitely seems to be a great complement to it. So it would be great if they did keep it. It'll be interesting to see whether they actually do. Obviously, one of the vlogs that I saw on your channel was you attended the Attraction Source event at Chessington. Now, I've never managed to attend an Attraction Source event yet. Everybody raves about them. So what was that like? I mean, it certainly seemed great from your vlog.
We loved it. That's the second Attraction Source event we've done now, and it's like I said, it's like a community. You get speaking to people that you've not really spoken to before, and you do ride takeovers. Like, it's just, if you're shy and trying to, I'd say, join the community and talk to people, it's the best way to do it. You meet so many other people, and we had a brilliant day. We absolutely loved it. And the Drayton Manor one we did as well was amazing.
Yeah, I must admit, I bumped into Chris actually from Attraction Source at Thorpe Park last Sunday, and very interesting guy actually, and I'm actually in the process of getting him to come and do a nervous chat as well, because I think he would be a great one to talk to. Give a slightly different perspective on a few things. Obviously, he's not a vlogger, but that Attraction Source thing is massive, and as you say, it's almost like an ice-breaking meetup, isn't it, for people? And it breaks down some of those barriers to just going up to people and talking. I know when Abi and Nicole were on, I get really nervous when I see people who I watch on, and I was obviously telling Abi and Nicole about meeting Archie from I Am Archie Music at Chessington, and I was too nervous to actually say hello. And my wife stepped in and shouted his name across the path, and that's how I got to meet him. But I would never have met him otherwise, And I think, as you say, those Attraction Source events are great for that kind of thing, isn't it? So I'm hoping next year I might actually get to be able to get to one, because I feel like I'm missing out on something.
They're amazing. Like I said, we've done 2 now, and we've had brilliant times. Like, yes, you pay that bit extra, but you get the extra ride times are amazing, and seeing Mandrill Mayhem and the engineering was just so different, stuff that you wouldn't normally get to see.
No, absolutely. And I must admit that's something that very much appeals to me, is getting that behind the scenes look of things. And I am am gutted that I didn't get to the Chessington one, because that was the one I really wanted to try and get to this year, but unfortunately it just, the dates didn't work, and I couldn't get to it. But you know, it's one of those things. Hopefully next year they'll do some, and I'd certainly love to go and attend one at Thorpe Park. I'm hoping that they'll do one there soon again as well, because I think that could be a great one to do.
Definitely.
Maybe in line, maybe they can link it up with the opening of Exodus. Wouldn't we all buy tickets if they promised us behind the scenes of Exodus?
Definitely.
That would be mental, wouldn't it? Getting that behind the scenes of a brand new coaster like Exodus. I think that'd be something. So, what's been your favourite park visit this year? Because obviously you've been to you pretty well. You've done all the major ones, haven't you? Polton's, Blackpool, Alton, Thorpe, Chessington, Legoland.
Yeah, we've done. We haven't vlogged in Legoland, but we did Legoland last weekend.
I thought I'd seen that you were at Legoland, because I was looking for the vlog, and I was like, there isn't a vlog here, but I'm sure I saw that they were at Legoland. We were a bit
hungover, and we just thought, no, vlogging today.
Oh, that sounds great. I recently went on a stag do for a friend of mine, Coaster Capturer, and I was very hungover the day we spent at Alton Towers for the actual stag do, and but we'd all promised him that we would vlog the day, and so I was having to vlog feeling very hungover, and I've decided that the worst roller coaster to ride when you're feeling hungover is the Smiler, without a doubt. It is horrific. So yeah, I totally understand that one. But yeah, so which one's been your favourite so far?
All of them, to be honest.
Yeah. I've loved visiting like new parks this year. Like we've done a lot of new parks that we'd never done Chessington before this year. Legoland, Polton's, Portaventura, Plopsaland. We've done a lot of new parks this year. I absolutely loved Plopsaland. I really, really enjoyed going to that park. Same with Portaventura.
Yeah. I mean, like you, this year I've done Drayton, which was completely new for me, and I really enjoyed Drayton. Last year, Polton's was a new one for me, and I must admit I do have a bit of a soft spot for Polton's Park. There's nothing amazingly thrilling there. Storm Chaser probably being the closest thing to a thrill coaster, but there's just something about that park, isn't there? It's just a lovely park.
Yeah, it's so well looked after.
Yes.
Yeah, it's got that vibe to it.
You can tell, like, there's, I don't know,
well looked after.
Yeah, I say that, you know, the fact that you go there and the car park is just this beautifully smooth, concreted car park is an opening statement of the quality in the park, and it's absolutely true. That is exactly what it is. Good evening, Sam, Coaster Tog. Thanks for joining. So yeah, I think Polton's is a great one. So I suppose we're going to have to address Oakwood now. I've saved the best till last. So first of all, how was the new Megaphobia?
Really enjoyed it. Although that was the first time we'd been back to Oakwood in probably about 10 years. Because it's our local park. We used to go to school a lot. That would be like your end of year trip. And I thought it was riding quite well. The first ride we had on it was very much like, didn't really see the hype about it. But as it got warmer throughout the day, you could definitely tell it's running a lot better.
I know, obviously, in the vlog you made some comparisons to Wickerman. Is Wickerman still the better of the two of them, or would you say Megaphobia is a competitor now?
It's hard because I think when it comes to Oakwood, they just haven't got the theme in. Like, we were standing in the queue line and the music was playing and it was pretty awful, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. There's just, if they themed the ride better, it could definitely be a competitor. But But as a ride itself, it was really good. But I guess it's about theming as well.
Yeah, I feel like with Wickerman, it's like a full package. You get the pre-show, even the queue line is not too bad, is it?
No.
And you get the smell pods, like the whole like a good atmosphere, like building up into the ride. Whereas Megaphobia is really good rides, but yeah, there's nothing else really making it stand out.
There's so much potential, and
yeah, I could see a good pre-show with Megaphobia.
Yeah, definitely.
Few smell
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, Wickerman is the complete package, isn't it? You know, it's a good ride. It's got the pre-show, as you say, the smell pods, the queue line, the theming is, you know, it's something else. And Megaphobia doesn't have that, obviously. So it's trading literally on its rideability. So that's a shame. Obviously, as far as Oakwood is concerned, do you think that Oakwood? Obviously, I've had this conversation as well with Hang Time Horror, who are also Wales based, and you know, is there a future for Oakwood?
I think Oakwood has so much potential, and there's so much that could be done to make it an amazing park.
Yeah, like we said, when it came to Megaphobia opening, we'd heard there was opening that Sunday, but we didn't actually have like conclusive evidence it was opening, because Oakwood didn't even mention that they were reopening it. They could have done such a big event for that, for the park reopening.
They could have like built the hype up for it, and
there was nothing. And it's hard then, because if they had better marketing, or they just had advertised it being opening, I think a lot of people would have come down for opening. But the fact they'd released it like 10 o'clock at night saying they were reopening the next day, or I think it was maybe even the Monday after it had been reopened that they'd said it reopened, it was just like, what are you doing?
Do you think that's a statement really about the ownership of Oakwood then? Does it have a future with its current owners? I mean, obviously they saved it essentially from going under and probably being ripped down. So I think, the credit has to be given to them for that. And I think they've tried, but I think that, they're not theme park owners, are they? They're amusement sort of hall owners predominantly. So do you think that maybe that their time is done? They've done as much as they can do?
That's what I mean. It's such a unique park. Like the rides there are brilliant. They're so unique. And it's not even just the roller coasters, like even the pirate ship I really enjoy. And I don't like pirate ships, but that's one I really enjoy. And even Bounce, the drop shot tower, even that's really good. But yeah, I think that there's something that needs to happen there.
Yeah, I don't understand why they spent so much money on the re-track, but then there was like no word of it. There was nothing really, like no hype. Yeah, I don't really get that at all. I'm surprised it hasn't been bought out yet. I'm quite surprised on that.
Yeah,
wants to buy it.
Well, I suppose that you would want somebody like Merlin or the Lupin Group, obviously that own Drayton Manor. But whether it's a bit too far out for them to be, it would be a gamble, wouldn't it? To buy up a park like that, to see whether it actually made a difference. I think for me as well that sadly Oakwood's safety record is also very detrimental to it. And I think as with a lot of things, a new owner can sometimes sweep that a little bit under the carpet. If you can sell it on the basis of okay, these things happened, but they happened under a previous ownership. We're a new ownership, we're new owners and we're going to do this and this and this, and or we've got this experience. Because I don't know, I think there's been too many things that have put people off. I think it has put people off.
And they're spending so much money next door. Like there's like a leisure thing where you can stay, like log cabins, and that's what I mean. They're spending so much money next door, so you'd think that Oakwood now would be like, okay, we're going to spend this amount of money, make it a better park, because yeah, it's not that far from like Tenby and stuff, which is a lovely little.
And loads of like holiday makers come down to Pembrokeshire for the summer.
Yeah,
you'd think that there'd be something to try and draw all those tourists into Oakwood.
And there's nothing. I think probably about 10 years ago, it used to be amazing. Like, I think a lot of holiday makers would go. Like, if I went on holiday, even like an hour down the road to Tenby or something, we'd always find the day to go to Oakwood. But even the schools stopped taking us. That's how like bad it got after a while. They were just like, we're not taking you anymore. And you got Forest Farm down the road as well. There's so much there, but I find it quite expensive for what it is as well. It definitely, I think, new ownership or just something needs to change.
I say they put an RMC.
Yeah. Well, I think you're right. I think they need something. I think new owners, first of all, that will help with the safety issue. And new owners who come in with a clear statement about what they're going to do to avoid further safety infringements or issues or whatever. Then I think they need a flagship ride. They had the opportunity with Megaphobia's Re-TRACK to use that as a, I know it's not a new ride, but they could have sold it almost like a new ride, and they could have made it a flagship, and they didn't do that. So that's gone. So now they need something new. And it just looks like, just overall a bit of ride investment would, a bit of renewing of some of the rides that are there. As you say, there are some great classics there. Speed, obviously. I know you guys think that, as you were saying, it's a much smoother Gust hour than Soar, and so that's and it's a good solid ride. The Eurofighter is a good solid ride, but maybe just something a bit more to just make people go, oh yeah, Oakwood's got this. Let's go to Oakwood. But I do agree that I don't think the current owners are probably the people to do that. I don't think their knowledge of theme parks and roller coasters is maybe enough for them to be able to make that call, which it is very sad. And I do fear for Oakwood's future as a theme park. You say they're building that big leisure facility, and you sort of think, is that the road they're going down? Do they want to turn it into a holiday park as opposed to a theme park?
I have no idea. None of it makes any sense. Like, they spent so much money on Megaphobia. We were expecting a big opening day, and we were like, oh, we're going to go to that opening day. And then where had we been on the Saturday?
We were at Chesington.
Yeah, we were in Chesington, and we'd come home, and we knew that Megaphobia was opening on the Sunday, but obviously no word of it. And we were like, we don't really want to go down if it's not open, because I know Drenched is shut as well, and that's supposed to be open for summer, but when we went, it didn't even look like it was ready to open again. So yeah, again, I don't really know what's going on with that ride.
Yeah, and that's another one of their sort of flagship rides, isn't it? Drenched. It's well known. So again, it could be another opportunity lost if they just suddenly reopen it one day without making any sort of big deal out of it. But as you say, if they didn't make a big deal out of the Re-TRACK and reopening of Megaphobia, I kind of don't think that's going to happen for Drenched either when that reopens. It's which is it is sad.
Like, the events this year look really good.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, marketing. I think marketing could be the issue, and ownership as well. I think there needs to be a big step up with it all. We'll take over marketing, won't we? We'll take over. Career change.
Yeah. Go on then. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, just tell the owners that, just to give you a blank check. And you'll build them a new park, and and they'll make their money back tenfold. I think that's you've got
everyone wants to come down to Oakwood.
And you've got everybody in the theme park community who I'm sure will give you their opinion about what should or shouldn't be there. And yeah, and I think it's a recipe for success there. I think you should put that to them. I really do. I think that's the answer.
If I could, I would buy Oakwood. Have my own theme park.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Would it be if you could buy any UK theme park? Actually, the question you just made me think of, actually. Which one would you buy? Would it be Oakwood? Would you definitely buy Oakwood, or would you be tempted with others?
No, I think Oakwood, because it has so much potential. And yeah,
that's where it started for us though as well. Like I think when we were younger, our parents would be like, "You're going on stage, you're going on Megaphobia," and I guess that's where the thrill seeker in us came out.
And also, I think it'd be so sad to see Oakwood go, because you know that has some classic rides, Megaphobia being one, and seeing it close or get run down,
I'd be gutted.
It's quite sad.
Yeah, I agree. I think, I can see that. I think if I had to buy one, I'd probably have to buy Chessington. But for similar reasons to you guys, Chessington is the one where I sort of started my journey of braving bigger rides, and and I mean, geez, there was a time not so long ago where even Chessington, I was the bag holder, but it was the launch pad for me to braving bigger rides, and so it'll always have a place in my heart. But I think it does. World of Jumanji, great investment. I think the rest of the park needs some investment as well. I think there's a lot of other rides there that are aging now, and ride availability is becoming a bit of an issue. So I'd love to go in there and just rip out a few rides that I know have passed their best. Rattlesnake being the number one, that'd be gone in a heartbeat.
We had a good ride last time we went. Really, we did actually.
See, I don't know that there's ever a good ride on Rattlesnake. I've never done Rattlesnake and not come away with some kind of injury.
It's quite rough.
It's a fierce, rough ride, isn't it? But so I think that one would have to go. But yeah, that's the one for me. But I suppose I could ask that to a million enthusiasts, and they probably would all name their sort of founder park, if you like, the one that they started from. They probably would choose that as a because we all have that soft spot for those parks. So I think I would agree that Abi and Nicole are saying they've been spited by Rattlesnake every single time. It's a forbidden cred. I love that. Spited by it. And they'd buy Blackpool for exactly the same reasons, it's, as you say, it's having that sentimental connection, isn't it? You would want to buy something that gives you that thing. The danger, of course, would be that if we changed it too much, would it be any longer the same park that we had that connection to? That would be the danger, wouldn't it? That if we changed it to what we'd like it to be, would it still be the park that we remember?
Yeah, it's not even that I change much about Oakwood. I just think, one, it needs a new ride, and two, it just needs better marketing, better just getting people to go there.
And actually, I think I'd bring back some of the old attractions.
Yeah, I already know what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
They had a really good dark ride there when we were younger, and they got rid of it for some reason and put Spooky 3D there.
And they could have kept it as well. It was such a good ride. Like I have core memories of going on that ride.
I think sometimes parks make these decisions, and you really do have to question the logic behind those decisions. And as you say, it is sad that that's gone, because obviously for you, that's a ride that you'll always remember. So Ollie's saying that the slide creds at Oakwood are 10 out of 10. I'm guessing there's a reference here that with
There's a ride called Waterfall there. I'm not sure if you've seen people vlogging when they go there, and you're like basically on a tray
sliding down the slides,
and the aim is to not get wet, but chances are you're going to fall in and you're absolutely soaked. It's crazy. If you've not seen it, look it up, because it's absolutely mental.
I'm going to have to give that a look, because that does sound mental. It sounds like something I would never go anywhere near. But but it does sound a bit mental, actually. If anybody's got any questions for the girls tonight, by the way, please feel free to ask now. I always happy to take questions from the park. Obviously, you said your next trip is Alton Towers for the next 2 weekends, I believe you said. For the it's next weekend is the attraction source event, isn't it? Towers times.
Yeah. We're actually going for Abi's birthday this weekend, so we're taking our families, and they've never done any of the roller coasters in Alton Towers, so keep an eye out.
Okay.
Because I think that's going to be a funny one.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That could be interesting. No worries, girls. Thank you for joining. Love to have you in on the show, and obviously in the live chat. Thank you very much for taking some time to watch tonight and to support the other girls here. Ollie's asking your favorite lift hill.
Definitely not speed.
No. What was that? 40 seconds. 40 seconds to go up the lift hill.
Wow.
Yeah.
But my favourite is probably Wickerman. Love Wickerman lift.
Everything about Wickerman.
Everything about Wickerman.
I really like Shambhala.
Yeah.
That was
okay.
Good views.
Yeah. Absolutely loved that. Shambhala was just amazing though.
I just find Wickerman's lift hill a bit of a slog.
Just constant.
That's what I like about it. It's unique.
Yeah, I just, for me, I'd like to just get to the top and get going. You know, dragging out probably the slowest part of the ride to me is not gonna impress. The other one that does that a bit, but I'm guessing it's got a bit of an excuse, and it's a bit older. Is Colossus. The time it takes for Colossus to get to the top of that lift hill is a bit of a slog. And I swear you can hear the motors struggling every train that climbs. It sounds like those motors are really struggling to get that train up. But yeah, I think. But I wouldn't like to say what my favorite lift hill was actually. I don't know about that because
hard, isn't it? Someone asked us this before. We were just like not really thought about it before.
I must admit I quite like a vertical lift hill.
Abi hates them. No. I always joke about the vertical lift hills.
Because for me, it's a chance to really lie back and just look up. I mean, and it's rare you get that experience. So I think a vertical lift hill for me is probably one of my favorites. I love, especially on Soar. I love Soar's vertical lift hill because it's quite quick to get it up.
Yeah, that's probably the best one.
And it's probably the smoothest part of the ride. To be fair. It's all downhill literally after that. But yeah, Dave's asking for your favorite hypercoaster.
We've not really done many.
I've just done Shambhala.
Yeah, I've done Silver Star in Europa Park.
Okay.
I really like that, and then as soon as I did Shambhala, I was like, yeah, that compares nothing to Shambhala. But we've not really done many. We're heading to Florida in September, though.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's quite exciting. That's the one thing I guess we haven't really done. I'd say we're still new to like a lot of parks. We've not really, this year, obviously, we adventured out to Europe, really. But there's still so much we've got to do. Like, we're constantly like, oh, we want to do this, we want to do that. But it's time.
Time and money, isn't it?
Yeah, time to go. Like we're already thinking, oh, what are we going to do next year? And it's like there's just so much on the list.
Yeah, I must. Yeah, I'm the same because I've done pretty much all the major British UK parks now. I need a new challenge. I like the challenge of a new park. Fortunately, I've still got Flamingo Land to go, which I'll be doing in about 3 weeks' time. And because you haven't been to Flamingo Land either, have you?
No.
So there's that one, and then there's Fantasy Island, I think, is the other sort of big one, and I've got that booked for April next year. And then that's kind of it, you know. There's no other major ones in the UK that I really want to sort of head to. So then, as you say, you then got to start looking at, right, so where next, you know. next year, I'd love to do Plopsaland, and I'm hoping to get there early doors next year. And then we're hoping to take a family holiday to Salou, which means we'll be able to go Portaventura as well. So that's 2 more things to look forward to. But the list of places I want to go now is just phenomenal. Energylandia, Phantasialand, Movie Park, Europa Park, just all of them. I want to do them all before I get to a point where, sadly, I'm not getting any younger. There's going to come a point where running around theme parks might be a little bit too much. And I've got all these bucket list parks that I want to do before I get to that point. It's as you say, there's so many to do and so little time to do them. It's Emily's actually asking here, would you consider going to Flamingo Land in the near future?
We've discussed it. It's about a 7-hour journey from home.
Wow.
And it's somewhere we really want to go to, but I just don't think it's going to happen this season.
It's definitely not just a weekend trip. It's going to have to be travel to somewhere else and then eventually get there. So time.
Yeah, we wanted to get it done this year, and we're just looking on the calendar and we're like, we have not got the time to do it this year. It's just it's somewhere we really want to do though. It's the next park we want to do in the UK that we haven't done. Time. Just time.
It's a 5-hour drive for me from here.
It looks amazing. It looks so.
It does look great, and which is why we've decided to do it and commit and stay. So I think we're going to drive up on one day, stay overnight, do Flamingo Land the next day, stay overnight, and then drive back on the third day, just to sort of split it up a little bit. But as you say, that then makes it quite an expensive trip. It's not the cheapest of parks anyway to get into. And that's, as you say, that's for me only living 5 hours away, so 7 hours away. Geez, that's a trek and a half. But I'll give you my honest opinion about it once I've done it, about whether it's worth the 7 hours. Theme Park Fanatics asking what your favorite vlog you've put out is.
I feel like for me, the first vlog is just so iconic. I can watch that one so many times, and we've spoken to a few people and they've said the exact same thing, that vlog is just, I don't know what it is.
I don't know that, but yeah, I would agree. It was the first one. There's just something about
I think it's because it's almost a parody of a vlog, isn't it? Because it's like you say, it was there was so many just moments where, like you say, it took you however long to say hello and sort of introduce the vlog, but that was lovely, and it was natural, and it was real, and it was organic, and it was funny. And I must admit, I did love that first vlog. I'm not going to lie. It made me want to watch more because it was just enjoyable. It was real. There's always the danger, and I worry about myself doing this sometimes, that you can try to be too professional about it, and then you sort of lose some of that organic feel to things. And every so often I watch a vlog back and go, no, I don't like that. That's stepping away from who I am, and that's me trying to be Sean Sandbrook, for example, trying to be too professional, trying to be, and I'm not like that, because I can't do that, because I basically know bugger all about roller coasters, really. I'm still learning, so that doesn't work, so I know what you're saying. And that first one, if anybody has not watched their first vlog from Alton Towers, you have to go and watch it. It's such a watchable vlog, and very funny, so go and check that out.
It's like when we did the roller coaster restaurant. It was like, it wasn't brilliant, but we didn't know what to say, because we didn't want to say anything bad, but then at the same time we were there, we were like, what do we say? And then when Abi's like, oh, what did you think? And I was like, oh, nice, because I just didn't know what to say.
Oh, yeah, and you very quickly lose that, don't you? As you get on, you go, actually, I'm gonna call it as it is. Because I think you can be honest without being horrible.
Yeah.
And that's the difference, isn't it? And I would have to agree with you. I don't think the roller coaster restaurant is particularly great. It's a lovely idea. It's just the food in it is just not up to scratch in my opinion. And I've got a catering background, so I'd like to think I might know a little bit about what I'm talking about. And I can't say I've only eaten there once, and I wouldn't rush to go back. But I get what you're saying about especially if you were put on the spot like that. I mean, that was I did look at that and go, she says nice. Her mouth is using the word nice. Her face isn't backing that up though. So yeah. Your favorite dark ride?
Probably the Curse.
Yeah. I've done, is it Pirates and Backfear in Europa Park? I really enjoyed that, but I think the problem was I wasn't really into roller coasters or dark rides at that time, so I feel like I didn't appreciate it that much.
Yeah.
Like looking back now, I'm like, that was a really good dark ride. But yeah, Curse is pretty good. Yeah. They've done a good job there.
Groneland, I don't know where that is. I've never even heard of that. Obviously, Dave's recently been to Plopsaland for the first time, and if what I saw when he rode Icon for the first time at Blackpool last year and Enzo for the first time at Blackpool was anything to go by, I can only imagine the excitement on his face when he rode Ride to Happiness. I really can. It must have been quite the picture. Dave's saying when he did Flamingo Land, that's what he did. He went up one day, stayed over, did the park, stayed over, came back. Good evening, John. Kelly Family Adventures. Trying his best to support everybody. Yeah, it is hard. Mike from Journey to the Attractions agrees that the roller coaster restaurant is terrible. My food came down cold, and I think I had to send it back twice. And it was just worrying that, and I saw food getting stuck as well up in the ceiling.
Yeah.
And I was a bit like, that's a bit worrying, isn't it? Because that's that whole time it's stuck up there, it's going cold.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think it's not a great experience for me. It's certainly not worth the money that they charge you. Although I did like the concept art on the walls is very nice. It's nice to see those kind of things, but it sadly didn't make up for the poor food quality that I experienced anyway. Your favorite flat ride in the UK?
Ooh. I can't even think.
Probably Rush.
That scares me. Rush scares
I like Rush.
Me. That one scares me.
Yeah, lots of people say that about Rush, but I've never seen the fear in Rush. I don't know why, because I know a lot of people who can ride, massive roller coasters, fast roller, all of this, but struggle with Rush. It's a swing. It's the way I see it. It's
a swing. It's the lap bar. Like, I hadn't really been on anything. The first time I went on Rush, I'd never been on anything really, that you go that high with just a lap bar, and I was like scared I was going to fall out. But afterwards, it's fine.
Yeah, I can see it from that perspective. A few people, obviously, because most other rides like that have the overhead restraint as well, don't they? Like Vortex and things like that. Mike's asking, would you rather fight a dinosaur-sized duck or 1,000 duck-sized dinosaurs? Whoa, that's a bit of a mouthful, Mike. At 9:30 on a Monday night. 9:15.
I'm just picturing duck-sized dinosaurs now.
It does conjure up quite an image, doesn't it?
Yeah. A thousand duck-sized dinosaurs sounds fun.
Yeah.
I can picture that for some reason.
My Instagram post of Samurai.
Quite like Samurai. I never liked it before.
I love Samurai.
This year, and I'd say end of last year, I feel like, yeah, that's probably a top flat ride in the UK, actually. Thinking about it, I really enjoy that.
What I love this year is the fact they've actually shown it some love and painted it.
Yeah.
Because it just felt like it was, because it was away from all the other flat rides, it just kind of felt like it was getting neglected. Almost like last year, towards the until they started really sort of doing something with it, it almost felt like they were running it down to get rid of it.
Yeah, I felt that.
Which would have been a great loss, I think, because it is a great ride. How on earth it started its days at Chessington, I don't know. But you know, but yeah, I love it, and now that it's been repainted, it actually looks like they want it. And it's a great ride. I love the fact that you never know what it's going to do next.
Yeah.
You know, it's so unpredictable.
It is, yeah. I never used to enjoy it, but I feel like it's just gotten better.
Yeah.
I feel like this season was the first time I've ridden it. So I feel like when we went in 2021, we didn't go on it, and I was watching videos and stuff, and I assumed that they were just going to get rid of it by the end of 2021 season. So yeah, I think it was my first time going on it this year, actually. So
yeah. Most scare event that you're most looking forward to this year?
I'm really excited to do the Hinchinbrook House. I know it's not really a scare event, but that looks amazing. And probably Tully's. We've not really done any scare events this year, although we are doing Halloween Horror Night.
Yeah, that's the one that I'm most looking forward to, but obviously not UK. Yeah, Tully's is definitely one I've wanted to do for years.
We've not really done that. We've done Thorpe Park's one, and we've done
Scarefest,
but we've not done anything else. So this year is quite going to be a good one, I reckon. Going to try and swap as many out as we can.
Yeah, I don't think I'll get as many done this year as I did last year. I think I basically covered all 4 of the Merlin ones last year, because it was the first time I'd ever done scare events myself, having always been way too scared. And I put the big boy pants on and went to Fright Nights with Sam Coaster Tog as my hand holder, if you like, and my bravery. And actually came away quite disappointed about as not having the greatest of experiences. But I'm a bit more encouraged this year with what I've seen at Thorpe Park so far, that actually it could be a better event this year if the other events that I've seen are anything to go by. I think there's reason to be excited, even if the themes aren't amazing. I think they've got a great acting team this year who will make it come alive, even if the theme itself isn't great. So I think that'll be great. Mike wants to know, where is the best takeaway in your hometown?
I don't know. I feel like we haven't got really that many.
We've not got much.
Not good takeaways anyway. There's a Chinese about 15 minutes away from my house. That's probably the place I'd choose to go for a takeaway.
Yeah, we live we're about half hour from the city. Half hour-ish? Yeah. So, like, in our town, we actually don't have that much.
Yeah, but we have a McDonald's quite close by. But I feel like, we haven't got really any good takeaways. We have kebab shops, but nothing amazing.
Like, we don't even have, like, Uber Eats, nothing. We don't have Uber. No.
We've got Just Eat.
Yeah.
Very limited.
Yeah.
I obviously used to live in rural North Wales, so I remember what it was like to have that kind of setup, but I can't imagine it now. I really can't imagine that going back to that, not having, you know, endless takeaways, Uber Eats, Just Eat, Deliveroo, all, you know, dropping to my door. I don't know how
terrible when we go away. We're like
constantly
non-stop
looking at like where we can get food.
Yeah, I think I would be too, because you know that's part of the treat and the holiday, isn't it? You know, if it's a holiday is something that you can't do or can't get necessarily at home. So absolutely, I'd be having takeaways for every meal. If that's the question, if that is the case. Theme Park Fanatics asking, Abby, can you tell everyone your fun fact about the Big One station?
This is actually his fun fact.
Oh, okay.
And well, what is it? They lift the train. They lift the train up, then get a second train on the Big One, and that's why the station is like so tall, so they can lift them up. I don't even know.
Is this one of these? He's set you up for a fall there.
Yeah, definitely.
I see.
Thanks, Howard.
Unfortunately, Zooders, we have talked about Drenched, and the fact that its future is still hitherto unknown and unsure. Obviously,
we love Drenched. Like, I used to really enjoy it. Like, it's one of those rides which literally takes your breath away when you hit that water. Yeah. It's called some tidal wave.
Yeah. I didn't realise that it used to be at Knott's Berry Farm. So that's an interesting fact. There is an American ride currently sat in Oakwood Park
that they're not doing anything with.
That they're not doing anything with. Yeah, that they don't seem to be in any rush to get back working. Mike's last question: if you could film your dream vlog, what would it look like?
Wow, I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like going to Orlando is like one of on my bucket list, quite a big trip, a dream trip. So I feel like vlogging in Orlando.
Yeah. Although I'd love to do a Six Flags park or Dollywood. I feel like America just has so many, like a road trip.
Yeah.
I think a road trip with so many American parks, or even Europe. I'd love to do a European road trip with different parks. I think that would be the dream.
I think they're really good ideas. I think I'd love to spend 6 months or a year just traveling around America, doing every single theme park. Because as you say, you know, yes, the ones in Florida, Busch Gardens, SeaWorld, etc. But the Six Flags parks have got some great rides too. And then as you say, you've got Dollywood and you've got Knott's Berry and, you know, and so many parks that I would love to spend. I think a year would be quite good if I could get a year to just literally cruise around America doing all those parks. That would be absolutely amazing. So I think I'm with you on that one. But Europe equally would be if I had to go for a budget version of that, then I think the same trip but around Europe.
I'd love to like travel around the world, but then use theme parks as like pinpoints of where to go. That would be really good.
Yes, imagine that vlog.
Concerts, and somehow we've ended up with theme parks. We were doing it with concerts. We went to New York for a concert, and then somehow we'd ended up doing it with theme parks.
Yeah. The Zoodaloopers are saying you've definitely got to come to Orlando.
Yeah, we are heading there in September.
Something.
If you had £1 million and could visit anywhere, where would you go?
I think I'd do what I just said. Travel around the world, but then visit every single theme park.
Yeah. I'd love to do a park in Asia.
Yeah.
I think the parks in Asia look amazing. Or even Australia. But Australia's not somewhere I really want to visit either. But the parks look amazing there.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be the place. Like if I went there, it would be like, you know, I'd put theme parks on the map, and that's where I'd go.
Yeah. Too many poisonous snakes for me. You know, and just just things that could bite and kill you, which is, you know, it worries me a little bit. I'm not sure I could do that. And then the Asian parks, I think safety is something that I find a little bit worrying, that some of them are not so rigorous with their safety checks. Ollie's saying about Nagashima Spa looks quite amazing.
No, yeah.
I think that's the one in Japan, isn't it? I think. I'm sure it's Japan. I could be wrong. But it does look amazing. Parks in Thailand as well, Dave's suggesting here. So yeah, it's like you say, there isn't. You could literally do a round the world tour, just visiting theme parks, and you know, and just spend so much time just doing all those theme parks, because there are so many, and the chances are that by the time you got back to the UK, new rides would be opening, and you could start all over again.
Yeah,
that'd be the dream.
I feel like that's what we're doing at the moment, is just visiting places and going, okay, there's a theme park there. Like, we went to Scotland 7 years ago, and we somehow ended up in a theme park then.
Not M&D's.
Yeah. That's where it started. That's where this all started.
Oh dear, yeah. I think it's probably the only park in the UK that most people would say is worse than Oakwood.
Yeah. We didn't realise the extent of it at the time, and then looking back now, we were like, yeah, that was pretty terrible.
Yeah. Can't believe I went stuff. Yeah.
Bless you. Well, if that's I think that's all the questions we've got for tonight. Obviously we've been going for nearly an hour and a half. So hold on, we've got one more question coming in. We'll make this the last question. Would you consider visiting all 6 Disney parks around the world?
Yeah. I've never done a Disney park. The first one's going to be Florida. I've not even done Paris, so I'm really excited to do a Disney park. It's going to be different.
Yeah.
You've done Paris. So
yeah, I've done Disneyland Paris. But yeah, no, I definitely would want to visit all of them.
See the hype.
That's yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've never done a Disney park either, and I think I need to do one, because as you say, because I don't understand the hype. I don't understand it. So many people go on about the Disney magic and all this, and I've watched vlogs and I've watched POVs, and I don't see it, I personally. So I want to see whether it is true what a lot of people say, and that is you don't feel it unless you're there. That no vlog can totally capture it. That it's a you've got to be there sort of thing. So I'd like to experience it at least once to be able to then honestly say one way or the other whether it is like that, or whether I'm right in my lack of desire to, you know, to trek to a Disney park. So we will see. We will see. Right, I say I think that's the end of the questions. So I'm not going to keep you girls much later. Oh, what's going on there? I've just done something. Oh, there we go. I thought I was about to lose everything then. I told you, me and technology, we're not the greatest of friends. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been
inviting us.
No, you're absolutely welcome. I as I said, you know, it's always nice to find new upcoming channels and get them in and give, and you know, give you guys to chance to get out there and you know, let people see who you are, and for me to get to know more people. You know, I love talking to people, and I love getting to know people, and hopefully we'll get a chance to cross paths at a park at some point. If mine and Abi and Nicole's history is anything to go by, it only took us a year to actually be at the same park at the same time, and even then it was only one half of Parks and Pints that was at the same park. So but I'm counting that now, because I don't know how much longer it's going to take before we can actually be all at the same park at the same time and actually meet. But it'd be lovely to bump into you one day at a park and say hi, and if I'm coming down to Oakwood at some point, I will definitely drop you a message. No, absolutely.
We said this to everyone, like, if you're coming down, let us know, and if we're free, we'll be there. No,
that's fantastic. Yeah, I will definitely do that. But yeah, as I say, you know, thank you for coming on. If any of you in the live chat tonight are not already subscribed to All About the Lift Hills, then please go and check out their YouTube channel. I have included the links for both their YouTube channel and their Instagram, plus their latest vlog from Oakwood Park in the description for tonight's show. So it just remains for me to say thank you so much, and I'll see you girls soon. Take care for now.
Thank you.
Bye. There we go, guys. All About the Lift Hills. Lovely girls. And I think I've got a very bright future when it comes to vlogging and their YouTube channel. Go and check them out if you haven't already. As I said, all the details are in the description for tonight's show. Just want to say thank you to everybody that has watched tonight. It's always good to have the chat and the comments in the live chat and the questions. It means that I don't have to obviously ask all the questions, which is quite nice. And thank you for watching. If you're watching this as a recording on my YouTube channel, please consider checking out the live stream every Monday night, 8 o'clock. Next week, I am welcoming back some guests who have previously been on the channel, but as with so many guests that come back, I've got a long list of things for us to catch up with, and that is of course the lovely and legendary Ben and Holly from Ben and Holly's Theme Park Adventure, who were on, I can't actually remember how long ago it was they were on now. It does feel like it was quite a long time ago. And then that will be the last nervous chat for a few weeks. I'm having a summer break this year because nervous chat will be a year old on Wednesday, believe it or not. And it's been an absolutely amazing year, and it's been made more amazing by the guests that I've had on, the people in the live chat that support every week. So thank you all for that. It's been very enjoyable, and I certainly intend to continue. Right, I won't keep you any longer. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Monday night. Take care for now. I will see you next week, 8 o'clock, Monday. See you then.